Good morning, students. We learned how to represent the data in different methods, like in the bar graph, histogram method, and pie chart method. And also you have learned the representation of the numbers, that is negative and positive numbers in the number line. So in the number line, if it is a number line, the middle, it is the origin, that is 0, and all the positive numbers written in the right side of the 0. It is 1, 2, 3, like this. And all the negative numbers, they remain in the left side of the 0. -1, -2, -3, so on. So the negative and positive integers we can represent in the number line. Okay. So these negative and positive number lines, if they are represented in a graph paper, then what is it called? If both the negative and positive numbers are represented in the number line and that is in the graph paper, that is known as the Cartesian plane. Okay, so what we will learn today? Cartesian plane. And in this Cartesian plane, how to represent the numbers, that also we will learn. Cartesian plane. So what is Cartesian plane? If the two number lines are intersected to each other in a perpendicular way, then the plane which is made in the graph paper, that is known as Cartesian plane. So here I will show you the graph paper. See here, it is the graph paper. It is the picture of graph paper. Okay, and here we can represent both negative and positive numbers. Two lines, if I will draw two intersecting number line, that is one positive and one negative, like this. Here if I will draw this is the graph paper, so any one line you can use. If we draw a number line, okay, straight way, and one another is in the intersect. It should intersect in the perpendicularly. Both the intersecting number lines are represented in a graph paper. This plane is known as the Cartesian plane. Here the intersecting point, that is origin, that is taken as origin, and all the positive integers, they are represented in the right side and negatives in the left side. Here two lines, they are known as the axis. They are known as axis. The horizontal line, it is known as x-axis. What is it is known as? It is known as x-axis. It is known as x-axis. And the vertical line, it is known as y-axis. And this horizontal line we can represent as x, o, x dash. And the vertical line we can represent as y, o, y dash. Okay. So from the origin, in the x-axis, whatever in the right side, that is represented as the positive, and what is in the OX dash, that is in the left side, that is known as the negative integers. And in the y-axis also, from O to Y in the up, they are represented as the positive integers, and O to Y dash, it is represented as the negative numbers, represented as the negative numbers. Okay, these two axes, x-axis and y-axis, they are represented in the graph paper as the coordinate axis. These two are also known as coordinate axis. Okay, understood? So what is Cartesian plane and what is the coordinate axis? X-axis and y-axis both are known as coordinate axis. Then, to represent a number in this plane, we need to know the two values. That two values are represented in a pair. What are these two values? They are the values in the x-axis and y-axis. That pair is known as the ordered pair. They are known as ordered pair. Okay. So, to represent any point in this plane, we need the two values. That x-axis value and y-axis. It may be positive, it may be negative. But that two values are known as ordered pair and they are represented in a pair. Suppose, if I will represent in the x-axis 3. So, here we have to calculate 1, 2, 3 as per the scale. So, this 3 is the value in the x-axis and that is known as x-coordinate, or it is also known as abscissa. Abscissa. What is it is known as? Abscissa. The x-axis value it is known as abscissa. What is it? It is the value of x-axis. And whatever the value it is taken in the y-axis, that is known as y-coordinate, or it is known as the ordinate. What is it is known as? Y-axis, it is known as ordinate. So in the x-axis the value is known as abscissa, or and y-axis the value is known as ordinate. These two pair, we can, by the help of these two pair, we can represent the number in this plane. And if the x-axis value is 0, means if the abscissa value is 0, then the number will lie on the y-axis. On the y-axis. We have to remember this one. If the x-axis value is 0, then the number where it will lie? It will lie in the y-axis. If the ordinate value is 0, then the number will lie in the x-axis. Suppose see here, if I will tell x-axis, x is equal to 3 and there is no y value. So how can we write? The pair will be written as 3, 0. Always the pair is written like this. And the first pair represents the x coordinate, that is abscissa, and the second number it denotes the ordinate value. So as here y value is 0, so where it will lie? The x-axis here 1, 2 and 3. This point will represent the 3 and 0, means the value. Another example, if the abscissa is 0, if it is given p is equal to 0, 2, p is equal to 0, means the p point whose value is in the abscissa value is 0 and ordinate value is 2, means x value is 0, y value is 2. So x value is 0 means it will lie in the part, y value is 2, so we will count here 2, so 1, 2, so here it will be 2. So where it lies? It lies in the y-axis. Okay? So if the x-axis is 0, then the point will lie in the y-axis. Okay, this is known as ordered pair. This writing the value of the a point in a pair, it is known as ordered pair. Okay, so understood the coordinate axis, then the coordinate of a point, how to represent a point in the plane, that is Cartesian plane, and where the point will lie if a number is 0, one value of its is 0. Then the Cartesian plane, when it is in the Cartesian plane, when two lines intersect in the perpendicular by x, that is x-axis and y-axis, it divides this Cartesian plane into 4 quadrants. See, this is one quadrant, second, third and fourth quadrant. These are the 4 quadrants. The first quadrant, what is the first quadrant name? X, O, Y. This is the first quadrant. This is the first quadrant. This is the second quadrant. X dash, O, Y. It is the second quadrant. Then it is the third quadrant. X dash, O and Y dash. It is the third quadrant. Then it is the fourth quadrant. X, O, Y dash. It is the fourth. Okay. So these are the, if two intersecting perpendicular lines intersect each other in the Cartesian plane, the Cartesian plane, it divides the Cartesian plane into 4 quadrants. The first, second and third and fourth. So what is the value of this all these 4 quadrants? How can you find the value in this quadrant, positive or negative? And or which axis or coordinate will be positive and negative? How can we know? See here, first we will go to the first quadrant. In the first quadrant, see here, x value, it is the x value, OX. It is the positive because it remains in the right side of the origin. So, axis is positive. Ordinate, it is in the up. So, ordinate value, it is also positive. Both x value and y value both are positive in the first one. In the second quadrant, see here OX dash, here we have to represent, so it is the negative. So axis will be negative and ordinate will be, it is up, means positive. X value will be negative, y value will be positive. In the third quadrant, see here OX dash is the negative and OY dash also negative. What happened here? Here both x and y value will be negative. Then in the fourth quadrant, the x value will be positive, y value will be negative. Okay, if you remember these symbols, you can know by seeing the number, the value of the x and y, in which quadrant the number will be represented, we can easily identify. First quadrant positive, second quadrant negative positive, third quadrant negative and fourth quadrant it is positive and negative. Understood? So in which quadrant the number will remain if the value is given? If I will say that is -5, -3. So in which quadrant it will remain? Negative, both are negative. We will go to the third quadrant. So where it will lie? It will lie on the third quadrant. Understood? So this is about your Cartesian plane line, that is how to represent the point in the Cartesian plane. Then the line graph. By representing the points in the graph paper, we can draw the graph or we can show the data in the line graph method. Okay, in the way line graph method. So that we will discuss in the next class. Okay, so all of you understand this one and do the example given in your book. Okay, that next how to represent the graph, line graph, we will discuss in the next class. Thank you and have a nice day.